Hello YouTube, I'm David with the David West channel. Today I wanted to tell you not to throw away your brittle and hard char cloth just because it's hard to catch a spark. It still burns as intensely as the good supple char cloth does. All you need to do is take a small piece of your supple char cloth and use that to ignite the brittle stuff. Go ahead and use up the brittle stuff out of your batch of char cloth first, like I like to do. Let me show you. I went through my entire batch of char cloth and I've got a bunch of it. And I pulled out 3 of the most brittle pieces here, here, and here. And I pulled out my best piece right here. Let me just demonstrate what I'm talking about. Set these 3 tinder bundles on fire: pine needles, leaves, and straw. Let me set you up closer. If you might be able to see or even hear the difference between this brittle stuff. You see how thin that is? The stuff that's hard to catch a spark. I don't know if you can hear that. You can hear the stiffness, the brittleness, the hardness, and this is just as soft and as supple. Look at how thick it is. It stayed thick and sort of fluffed up on the edges. Let's just use a tiny piece of this to ignite this brittle stuff, and we'll get it out of our supplies to where we'll only have the good supple stuff left. I mean, if you're making char cloth right, a batch shouldn't have any more than 10 or 20% of the brittle stuff in it. Now, we'll ignite this bad char cloth, if that's what you want to call it. Now, sometimes I have seen brittle char cloth to where it wouldn't even burn right. And I guess you would have to throw that away. But for the most part, the brittle stuff has just the same intensity as the supple stuff. You pretty much can't make a leaves tinder bundle in advance so well because it just doesn't hold together when you lay it on the table. So that's why I sort of did it on the spot like that. But even, just because leaves are difficult is no reason not to use them. It's the most plentiful tinder source that I have around here. But I will go ahead and make up my, ooh, that feels wet. I like to break off this woody bottom section because I put that on the fire last, and go ahead and just process this upper softer part. So we're good on the grass tinder bundle, and let's go ahead and process up the pine needles just a little bit. We We had a tremendous amount of rain come through last night, but today it's supposed to be sunny all day. All right, there's the pine needles. All right, I switched over to some quartz. I just used Bipolar Percussion, and I got some good sharp edges. Let's see if we can get it to 1, 2, or 3 strike ignite. We're going to take our Brittle Char cloth and put it in the tinder bundles and get just a small piece of the good stuff and get it to ignite. You want to make sure it's laying down flat. Sometimes just turning it 180 degrees will get it to lay down flat. All right, and then we'll try it on the straw, same thing. Just a little piece of the good stuff. A good sharp rock to scratch up a spark. Can't see it. Let's try that. See, I don't know if you can see that. If it's not laying down flat on the rock, you're not going to get as good of results. Let me see if I can put it over here and make it lay down flat. Mostly flat right there. Can you see it? That's mostly flat down on the stone. And then these bottom pieces, these woody pieces, can go on top of that. You get the point. Don't throw away your brittle, your hard to ignite pieces of char cloth. You can use a small piece of the Supple to go ahead and get all the heat out of them. They're still really good, really hot burning pieces. All right, y'all. I appreciate you joining me on this one. We'll catch you on the next one. Let's do another one. had a hard time finding crispy pieces of char cloth out of the mass quantity of char cloth that I have. So let's just go ahead and use this up. I have plenty more supple char cloth to use. Well, we finally got a one strike after I've been talking about it. You might say that it's a waste of heat for me to go ahead and cover the whole top of this char cloth with the ember before I stick it in the tinder bundle. But it's the quickest way to ignite that tinder bundle. This part of the grass is pretty damp. All right, y'all. Appreciate you joining me on this one. We'll catch you on the next one.